A waitress at 2J's waits on a table full of friends. They pay with their credit card. A few days later, bogus charges on all their bank statements. The victim tells authorities that she was walking toward this intersection when 3 men drove up to her in a black Honda and one of them yelled, "Take her." That's right, we are here in Winter Park where police have increased patrols because of that tragic incident. Down here you can see a makeshift memorial with flowers and candles, all in remembrance of that Winter Park High School student. What initially was a routine traffic stop in Orlando turned into a car chase. A 15-year-old girl runs to her mother in tears after a man exposes himself in a public shopping aisle. Thank you, Katie. I'm live out here at the Universal Studios Orlando, where OUC reports that there has been a power outage in a large portion of the park. Now, OUC does tell us that it's not a problem with them delivering power, but rather with the infrastructure of the park itself. Orlando Fire Department does say that its Transformers and Men in Black are the 2 rides that have been affected, but that there's no distress at this time. They do have 9 units on standby. In Orlando, Barmel Lyons, Fox 35 News. Halters, name tags, horses. Freedom Ride, a nonprofit organization, turns Air Force veteran Josh Given's life around for the better. Executive Director Marianne Gray says the Veterans Therapy Program made a difference.
A lot of the veterans suffered from head trauma, and it was just a real treat to be able to help them.
Given's stepfather, Henry Nazinski, says it's almost like Josh was crying out for help.
I remember when Josh came back from the military, how confused he was, looking for help, almost crying for help.
The civilian world made him feel trapped.
Most of the time, not even out of my room. I would just be in my little man cave hole, and it totally flipped me around because I wasn't communicating with anyone.
With equine therapy, horses act like mirrors for emotion, forcing people to address them. Equine therapists say that veterans can lower emotional stress by petting and building a bond with the animal. Rusty is the horse Josh bonded with, the horse that helped him get his life back. In Orlando, Barmel Lyons, UCF Nightly News. Jason Franzik, a Navy veteran and UCF graduate, is now the senior photographer and lead graphic designer of Artborn magazine. Jason Franzik believes that the lens can be used for capturing the full experience of the arts. With the help of the Veterans Academic Resource Center, Jason turned his passion for photography into a career. Lauren Shish-Taylor, coordinator of VARC Support Services, provided Jason with resources to juggle school and family.
He made a decision somewhere along the way, and I could see it in his, in the way that he presented himself, that he was going to do this, and he was going to get through all of these things, and he was going to get to that next thing.
Jason's friend of 12 years, Michael Pierre, says the VARC was his support system.
Provides a camaraderie that does boost your confidence. It lets you know that there are others like you going through the struggle, and that there's somebody there for you. And that's exactly what the military service is like, that gives you the ingrained impression on you're not alone. You're never alone.
Jason hopes that sharing his experience will inspire other veterans to know that they can do it too.
Remember boot camp. You made it through that. That was my fall to mantra for everything. I just remembered how it was in boot camp, and that I survived that with people yelling at me and just having to endure arduous task after task after task, and passing after passing after passing every obstacle. That nothing is impossible, that you made it through that, you made it through your time in service. How can school with a bunch of 20-somethings be harder?
The next issue of Artborn magazine will be distributed throughout the month of November. In Orlando, Barmel Lyons, UCF Nightly News.
We're interviewing Mr. Todd today as part of the UCF Community Veterans History Project.
UCF students and local veterans sit down and make history throughout the week of November with the UCF Community Veterans History Project. Veterans from World War II, Vietnam, and more are given the opportunity to share their story. John Grande, a Marine veteran and UCF student, says recognition of veteran service is vital.
It's really important to be able to see this on tape, to be able to hear them speak about it, the kind of almost put yourself in the same like you're standing right next to him as he's telling the story.
Sally Amato, a World War II veteran, knows her family will be proud she was able to tell her story.
I'm a World War II veteran. We won't be lasting long. After our stories are told, and if we can tell them in person, that is a wonderful thing.
Through this lens, students are capturing the veterans' past realities. Dr. Gannon, the coordinator of the Community Veterans History Project, says all veterans will feel welcomed on her watch.
Second, we have veterans all around. They're all around you. You just don't see them. There's at least 1,500 on campus from our more recent wars. So that's important. So we have a mission to make and collect the stories of our community. I think one of our most important missions is for veterans to know they're welcome home.
The UCF Community Veterans History Project continues to pride itself on diversity and making sure each story, like veteran Bill Todd's, is heard. In Orlando, Barmel Lyons, UCF Nightly News.